Hey there everybody, it's JP Letnick, and today we're going to take a little bit of a break from real estate related videos, and we're going to do a how to make hot sauce video. Now, this is thanks to our home inspector friend Aaron Korpaski. I'll put his link in the description down below and also maybe right here in the video. But he grew some amazing hot peppers at home, but we have about 70 hot peppers here, the variety. It looks like we have chilies and habaneros and some maybe some Scotch bonnets. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this into a hot sauce from scratch. So the recipe we're going to be using is, I'll also put in the description down below, and you can follow this at home. You can make it yourself. It's really, really simple to make. What you want to keep in mind though is depending on your peppers, you're wanting to have gloves on and use a tray to cut on rather than doing it directly onto your counter. Because if you do it, it is going to stain a little bit and the spice oils are going to get onto everything. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't touch your face when you're doing anything. Open the windows if you can, turn on the vent. This is going to help make sure that the spice kind of stays contained inside of the house and gets out properly. Otherwise, you're going to be coughing. So this recipe here, we're going to go through and you'll see how it turns out. And if you want to make it yourself, you can either go to the grocery store, get your own peppers, or if you have the time to grow it next year, feel free to grow these hot peppers. They're amazing. But we have a large variety of these here, and we're going to go from anywhere from hot peppers on the Scoville units of like 3,000, and we might even go up to 50,000 Scoville on some of these peppers, maybe even 100,000. I'm not 100% sure which all these peppers are, so we're going to have a surprise hot sauce at the end of the day. Now, a thing to keep in mind as well when you're making this hot sauce is you're going to need other ingredients other than just the peppers. You're going to need some vinegar and onions, garlic, and you're also going to need olive oil, salt, pepper. You can see what the recipe calls for and then you can modify it yourself if you like. You're also going to need a saucepan, fairly large. We also use a blender, a Vitamix, so we'll be pulling that out here in a few seconds. Here's the Vitamix blender. We're going to be putting stuff in here as well. Now keep in mind, again, this is spicy oil, so it's going to stick onto there. So if you're going to be making a smoothie right after, you might want to make sure to wash it really well with degreasing kind of dish soap. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to have the recipe here on this pad, and that way I can easily take a look at it. This is from allrecipes.com. It's the Scotch Bonnets recipe. It's obviously not going to be Scotch Bonnets here, but we're going to be doing a variety of peppers. So what I've done is, because I have about 70 peppers here, is I've adjusted their recipe to be about 70 peppers in total. So this is going to show that we need 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, about 52 fresh Scotch bonnets, and that's going to be a variety here, 17 fresh jalapenos, and that's again going to be a variety, 17 cloves of garlic, and we have a lot of garlic here. We're going to need about 1 1/3 cups and 2 tablespoons of minced onion. Obviously, you don't have to stay directly to this. About 2 teaspoons of salt, 5 3/4 cups of water, 2/3 cup and 1 tablespoon of distilled white vinegar, and then 1/3 cup and 1 teaspoon of white sugar. Now, because it's adjusted from the original recipe, that's why you got some weird numbers in here. We're obviously not going to stay directly to this recipe. We're going to modify it a little bit, but that is basically what we need. So in a large saucepan over medium heat, we're going to combine the oil, peppers, garlic, onion, and salt. It's going to cook for 5 minutes while stirring frequently. We're going to pour in water and cook for another 20 minutes or until the ingredients are soft. Stir frequently, remove from heat, and allow mixture to cool at room temperature. Transfer the mixture to a blender and puree until smooth. Pour in vinegar and sugar, blend until mixed, keep refrigerated. So it's fairly simple to do. The only things to keep in mind are, again, wear gloves if you're using really hot, spicy peppers, have the windows open and the vent going, because this is going to get the room really hot, spicy air. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep the onions and the garlic, because we're going to want to use these first, cut them all up before we touch all the hot peppers. The reason why we're doing that is it gives us less of a chance of touching our face and everything else while we're doing the hot peppers, and then after doing onions and garlic, it's not probably the best idea. So we're going to do onions and garlic first, and then the hot peppers. So here we have about 1 1/3 cups of minced onion. And you can see here that the garlic has been peeled and the ends chopped. Now we're going to go ahead and mince the garlic, and then get it all ready for chopping up the peppers, because that's going to be a little bit of a job. So we're going to do a little bit of time lapse on that as well. Alright, so we now have a whole bowl full of spicy peppers. I did have part of a sweet pepper, so I just cut that up, left. It was in the fridge, so I just added it in. It'll give us a nice sweetness. And here are all the seeds. So you don't have to remove all of the seeds. I just don't really like the texture of the seeds inside of the sauce at the end. So there, you can see there's some still there. It adds to the spice because that's where a lot of the spice levels come from. But I don't like the texture, so I just remove all the seeds and then put it in the bowl here. Next thing we're going to do is get it into the saucepan. All right, so next thing we're going to do here is we're going to put the vegetable oil into the pot there, and then we're going to combine the peppers, garlic, onion, and salt. So the pot's been boiling for around 25 minutes, and the recipe adjustment, probably because the peppers some of them were small, there was a little bit too much water. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out some of the peppers and whatnot and put it into the blender right away. So you can see I've already started doing that here. So I'm just going to be grabbing it out of the pot, letting it drain a little bit, and put it into the blender. That way there's going to be only water left inside of the pot, and we're going to reduce that. We're going to do a reduction of the water, and then we're going to put that reduction into the blender as well. So the next thing we need to do is blend this up, and then we're going to let it cool down. We're going to add the sugar and the vinegar to this, and after that, it's all done. Adding in the vinegar. And the sugar. So here's the finished product. It's a nice, beautiful orange color, and we have pretty much 3/4 of a blender full. So this is a great amount. I'm gonna try that later. So I hope this has been fun for you. You learned a little bit of something, and remember, if you want the recipe, it's down below in the description. And thank you again, Aaron, for the peppers. This took a couple of hours to get all done, but it'll be well worth it, I'm sure. And then after we're finished, we're going to put it into jars, and then we'll put some in the fridge, and we'll give some to Aaron, and we'll probably have extra to freeze up. So until next time, this has been JP from the Letnick Estates Group, and we'll see you in the next video.